went through the COVID crisis. COVID crisis is not terminated, highly unfortunately. In this dramatic new crisis, we had no collapse of banks, commercial banks, investment banks, financial entity the world over. Practically not. I put the credit to the new rules, prudentials, regulation that were set up by the international community after the previous crisis of Lehman Brothers.
Prior to the pandemic, from the traditional players, there was a lot of conjecture that as soon as a real crisis hit, that the fintechs would be in trouble because they'd never faced a real crisis. The reality is, because of the digital optimized approach, because of their ability to acquire customers at scale digitally, have performed very, very well during the pandemic and have surprised a lot of people. The biggest financial institutions in the world by the end of this decade will all be digital first, those that can acquire customers at digital scale.
One of the things that have happened during the pandemic is obviously that more and more people were forced to go online to do their shopping, to do their banking, to do their insurance, to do all their different services. And 2 in 5 Hong Kong people believe that it is actually possible to operate without cash within the next 5 years. And I think the future is really around the financial services industry collaborating with the fintechs and all other partners in the ecosystem to find the best solutions and the best customer experience for clients.
One of the powerful things about the cryptocurrency ecosystem is that anyone can access it, anyone can build on it, anyone can have a wallet on it. And that's not true of most currencies, where basically only banks can directly take part in the system and everyone else has to have an account with a bank.
It's a messy industry. Not everything is well established right now in the ecosystem. Really is about regulation and the shape of it today and what we expect the shape of it to be over the next few years.
This is in March 2011 when we auctioned this work from people that sold for $69 million and that put NFT, which was a word known by a small community of crypto enthusiasts, and it put NFT as becoming almost a household concept. What I think is unique with NFT, that kind of existed with all the collectibles but didn't have a chance to blossom in the same magnitude, is the ability of NFTs to create communities. Picasso collectors would want to get together in the past, but I don't think it was as easy as it is now with NFTs. I think that sense of community, which is very strong within NFTs, is also something that drives the value of NFTs.
There has been an increased focus on ESG strategies, which has been one positive to come from the pandemic, as well as on the reporting mechanism, which is helpful in terms of transparency and accountability.
ESG is increasingly moving from being individuals or individual corporations making commitments, which is great, but also to how people work together to be able to implement the change that's really going to be required. So what needs to happen is greater coordination, principally around regulations, different authorities in different markets, but there's also a degree of the regulation and then the order of which the regulation, so the ordering of which regulations come into play, which will make a difference.
Businesses will need to build trust with their stakeholders around ESG initiatives and create sustained outcomes from their ESG investment. Hong Kong was designated as the Green Finance Center for the GBA under the Outline Development Plan. Hong Kong must extend its advantages to attract the investment capital and enterprise focus to position it to thrive with ESG in the coming years.